Anytime a tornado enters your world, you are in for a real battle. Hey, here's how to face life's tornadic moments and win. Welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. My goal? It's just to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like and then subscribe and then share this with a friend. Now grab a cup, lift it up, and let's talk about tornadoes. A couple of years ago, our communion's investiture and ordination service was almost ruined by a tornado and by the front wheel of a car flying off and causing an accident and by a flooded house. And that's not all. And no, that's not the beginning line of a joke. That is the actual truth. So let me begin this morning's devotional by telling you what I'm not saying as I share these details with you. I'm not saying, oh, poor us. Because spiritual warfare is just part of being a Christian. If you have a spiritual life, then you have an enemy. So we have to learn to deal with him. And I'm not saying, well, aren't we super special or super spiritual or super important or really super anything at all? Because spiritual warfare is just part of being a Christian. Finally, I'm not saying you need to start looking at every single bad situation as an attack from the devil. Because just because spiritual warfare is part of being a Christian doesn't mean the devil's behind every little hangnail. Today's verse says, I'm sure that what we're suffering now cannot compare with the glory that's going to be shown to us. So what am I saying? Well, to begin with, I'm saying that spiritual warfare is just part of being a Christian. Hey, you may have caught that part already. But I learned something in the Marines. If you're at war, it's a good thing to know that you're at war. When you have an enemy whose entire mission in life is to steal from you, to kill you, to destroy you, then you had better be alert to his activity, especially when that enemy has an army. And he does. Or when he has more battle experience than you do. And he does. Well, thankfully, God has provided armor for us that delivers significant and needed protection. And he provides us with wisdom, knowledge, and intelligence. Think military intelligence as well as street smarts to lead us into battle. You know, the Bible's filled with stories of times where God provided his people with specific, detailed information about the planned actions of armies that were planning their destruction, so his people could thwart those plans. Here's something else to be thankful for. Our enemy's not the only one who has an army. God has an army too. His is stronger. His is bigger. And the Bible is also filled with stories about what happens when he sends his angels to do battle on behalf of his people. So why are there times when he appears to stand by and allow his people to be attacked? Well, often, though not always, might have something to do with his people choosing sin over obedience. To tell you the truth, I don't know the full answer here. But I do know the one who does. And as shocking as this may seem to some of you, he doesn't tell me everything. Bishop, he doesn't tell you everything? No. But since I know the one who knows, and I know that he's loving, and I know that he's kind, and gracious and merciful. I am utterly convinced that he is in control. And because I know him, when I don't understand what's happening, I can trust in his character. It's important to keep the proper perspective. What we're suffering now cannot compare with the glory that will be shown to us. God is God. He's the final victor. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer. My God is my rock in whom I can take refuge. My God is my shield. God is my stronghold. I could tell you about hundreds of times that I called on the Lord, who's worthy of praise, and he saved me from my enemies. I can tell you about hundreds of times I cried out to God for help, and God moved. That's my God. And if you want to gain some insight into his amazing power, you ought to go read Psalm 18. I think you're going to love it. I'm sure that I'll not be overwhelmed because he arms us with strength for the battle. I'm sure that I'll have the victory because he keeps my way secure. I'm sure that his way is perfect because he is God. And I'm sure that whatever we're suffering now cannot even compare with the glory that's going to be shown to us when the battle is over. If I learned one thing as U.S. Marine, I learned that the medals are handed out after the battle. And I learned that those who fight hardest and best get the most. Is life a battle sometimes? Of course it is. Remember, spiritual warfare is just part of being a Christian. I think I already mentioned that. I'll fight my battles by raising a hallelujah to him, asking for his direction and protection, and then following his orders. Oh, one more thing. How about if we fight together? You know, it's easier that way. It's all the time we've got this morning. Before you go, could I ask you to please help me introduce Jesus to people that never knew him? I want them to get to know him personally and better. So please click like for this video. Click subscribe so you get more. Click the link in the description. You get a free copy of my book, Count to One. I'll pop it right in your inbox. You're going to love it. One more thing is, do something with this video. Share this video with a friend, would you? Because as you do, it makes you part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thank you for helping.